I don't have a problem, okay? I just see a little bit of Yuri, and I'm just a little. Oh, that's some good Yuri. Yeah, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. You ever just try to crack your neck and you just kind of crack it slightly the wrong way, and now there's like this, ooh, like kind of sharp pain. Like, oh, son of a, oh. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I am Fonrath. Indeed, indubitably. And today, it is time to judge once more onto the brink. I do this, or at least I try to do this, every new season of anime. We come to this website called AniChart, and we look at the upcoming season of anime. Now, we are here today with the fall 2024 anime season. That's right. Essentially, what's going to happen in this video is that I'm going to go through all of these anime in this season, and I'm going to give you my first impressions. Now, I am an expert. I am the arbiter of anime, if you didn't know. That is my self-proclaimed official title, and I will judge whether or not any of these anime are worth watching or not, or maybe just giving an episode or two, because your time is precious, and who better to teach you than me, the arbiter of anime, of all things anime. I will tell you whether or not something is worth watching or to throw it in the garbage. Okay, couple of things to quickly note. I am a serious anime enjoyer. I don't like anime comedy. I think anime comedy 9 times out of 10 is complete trash. So I'm probably gonna skip any show that has the comedy tag in it. And the second thing I want to mention real quick before we start is that there is this rule that I have. There are 5 or maybe 6 tags, specific anime tags. Some of these things over here, right? Specific anime tags. There are 5 of them. I believe they are, I'm not entirely sure because I kind of forget them every single time, but harem, ecchi, romance, school, and comedy, right? I think those are the 5. I could be wrong. I could be thinking of something else, but I think those are the 5. Now, why are these important? My rule is, if a show has 3 of these 5, 3 of any of these 5, it's an immediate skip, okay? Because you already know the show is going to suck. Start us off with the number 1 up here, right up there, yep. Re:Zero, 3rd season. I haven't seen the 2nd season, so I'm not going to watch this. My opinion of the 1st season was that it was pretty good. Like, if it focused more on the seriousness of the show, it would be better. But it was still pretty good. They definitely pulled some of the horror and desperation out of the characters, and it was a pretty good watch. I would definitely watch the 2nd season if I had, some more time, and if I kind of remembered the show, and if I was in the mood, which I'm not right now, so it is what it is. Moving on. Surprisingly, we already have a new one. This doesn't usually happen, but it is what it is. Now, I immediately see, as you can see, comedy. Classic. So, to explain why I'm probably going to skip this. First off, the picture is immediately very like shonen-esque, right? Number 2, I've talked about this previously multiple times in this series, but when you have action and or some sort of like, more serious tag, like action or thriller or drama or something like that, right? And then you have a comedy tag, that is a big no-no. This will tell me exactly the type of show this is. It's going to be this type of like show where 90% of it is comedy and then there's action. That's all. And it's not going to be my cup of tea at all. I can already tell you this. The reason for this is simple. Most of these shows, for instance, take Re:Zero for instance, right? Action, adventure. There's no comedy tag. And yet, there's plenty of comedy in that show. So why is there not a comedy tag? because the comedy is not the main focus. That means that whenever there is a comedy tag in any of these shows, that means that 90% of the show is going to be comedy. It is going to be a comedy first, and then maybe some seriousness added on to it to make it like appeal to more people. So 9 times out of 10, as I said, if the show has a comedy tag, we skip it. So I'm probably gonna skip that one. It might still be funny, it might still be interesting, but because it has action, I'm sorry, I just don't view comedy shows. I don't think comedy shows are good when they are prioritizing action. If it was like slice of life comedy, I might check it out, but like comedy action, nah mate, nah. Moving on, Uzumaki. Now this one might actually be interesting because this is, from what I'm reading here, Junji Ito, 4-episode anime adaptation. Now Junji Ito is very known for some, I think, horror stuff and just mind-bending weird shit. So this one might be very good. Drama and horror. I mean, why not? I feel like, and it's 4 episodes, I mean, I think I'm gonna check this out. Moving on, Blue Lock. I'm also not going to spend too much time talking about most of these things because these videos are always kind of long. So yeah, or season 2 of Blue Lock. I mean, I don't even know if it is season 2 actually. It's sequel to Blue Lock, so I haven't seen the first one. I've heard that it's kind of pretty interesting, but I haven't seen it, so I don't really have an opinion. Moving on, we have a Bleach. Bleach, whatever the fuck this is in English, 1000-Year Blood War or whatever, it's dog shit. It's dog shit. What do I mean by dog shit? Yes, the animation is good. Yes, 100%, the animation is really good. However, the problem with this show, whenever they started doing this 1000-Year Blood War thing, they like retconned a bunch of things. What happened to Flash Step, bro? They just don't do it anymore. People's excuses are like, oh, now they're just moving so fast that we don't even see them flash stepping anymore. Bull fucking shit, okay? Complete bull honky. Not to mention, like, remember when Ichigo was like going up against Aizen and he was like really experienced and powerful, right? You would think that experience would like stay, right? When a character gets experience and power and they become more skilled, right? Even if they lose that power, their personality is not going to revert to how they used to be. But that is exactly what this Blood War thing did, where instead of having the Ichigo that went head-to-head against Aizen with like incredible power, instead of having that kind of calm, badass Ichigo, right? They switched him back to the fucking pussy-ass bitch that he used to be. And it was like, Jesus, bro, where the hell did Ichigo's like badassery go? You don't just revert a character's personality back to how they used to were, just because they don't have the same power anymore. His personality, his badass, calm demeanor should have stayed. But no, they basically just ruined the whole series, in my opinion. But moving on, we have I think this is the world's best assassin getting reincarnated show. I think I could be wrong. I actually, surprisingly, you know, even though it's isekai trash, I actually kind of enjoyed that show. So I might give it a watch. I guess I'm pretty sure I finished the first season as well. So you know, we'll give it a watch, I think, probably a few episodes. We have Arifureta, 3rd season. I'm surprised they're still managing to get seasons for this. Surprisingly, my opinion on Arifureta, the first 5 episodes of the 1st season was actually kind of good. Honestly, it was kind of like SAO, you know? Like, the beginning of SAO, where it was actually kind of good. Where you had, like, the main character going through these monsters and having to, like, eat them, and it was kind of horror-esque, right? And survival-esque. But the moment he met that fucking lolly vampire, the show went downhill instantly. Do I think I'm going to watch this? probably because I've seen both of the 2 seasons, so like I'm probably gonna continue with it. But do I think it's worth watching for anybody who hasn't watched Arifureta? I would recommend watching some of the first season, and if you can stand the harem bullshit and are really into power fantasies, then sure. But I mean, they really did some weird shit in the second season. Moving on, we have Shangri-La Frontier second season. I didn't watch the first season, but I heard good things, surprisingly. I might eventually put this in my list, but it very much seemed like a battle anime. That's why I didn't watch it. It just kind of I'm not really into like battle anime exactly, but I don't know. Maybe it's better than I think. Maybe. Moving on, we have this fucking show, Danmachi. I'm pretty sure years ago when it was first coming out and it became popular, I just dropped it because it was so dull. It was so fucking bad that I just could not continue. I just ugh. So no, I'm not gonna watch it. It's complete trash in my opinion. We have Ao no Hako, romance and slice of life. Now, even though romance was one of those 5 tags that I mentioned, I am not opposed to some romance if done correctly. But 9 times out of 10, most straight romance shows with a guy and a girl, they just have no idea what they're doing. There are some good ones. For instance, I am reminded of one show that many years ago when I watched it, and I actually liked was I think it was Lovely Complex. I think that was the name. That show was pretty good, and like stuff like Kaicho wa Maid-sama, right? Like some shows are pretty good with the straight romances, but there are also shows that are so fucking cringe. Regardless, let's read the synopsis for this, okay? This guy loves badminton, but he has a long way to go before he can reach nationals. Obviously, right? Of course, there's got to be some nationals. When the guy sees upperclassman girl practicing her heart out on the girls' basketball team, he falls for her hard. See, this is the type of shit that I don't like. I don't like the fucking falling in love at first glance thing. It can be done well, I think, but 9 times out of 10, they just have no idea what they're doing. It becomes this kind of weird, cringe, like, boy is, like, blushing every time he's talking to her, and, like, just kind of, right? Very, like, middle school idea of what real romance is. After an unexpected turn of events brings the two closer together. Sports might not be the first thing on their minds anymore. It seems like very generic, boring type of romance. I'm not expecting trash, romance here or anything. I'm not expecting fucking domestic kanojo type of shit or anything. But still, I feel like some of these romance shows are just so generic and boring that, like, I wish some of these writers would just write their own romance stories into a story, right? Like their own romance experiences into a story. It's not like there's no shot those high school romance shows are based off of real experiences. Like, that's not how real life is. Most of the time, anyway. Moving on, we have Sword Art Online Alternative, Gun Gale Online. Wait. Bro. Isn't this the Gun Gale Online show with the 2 girls? Dude, I actually liked that one. Straight up, I liked that one. It was actually kind of entertaining when I watched it. I don't actually remember if it was like super good or anything, but I remember I enjoyed it, and I can still remember the characters and what they kind of looked like and their personalities and stuff. So I mean, I'm probably gonna watch this, definitely. Moving on, we have Tensei Kizoku, whatever the fuck this is. We have a second season of a strange. I feel like, this looks like very fantasy-esque stuff, and I feel like I would have watched this. But strangely, I haven't seen this. This actually kind of looks kind of good. Honestly. Granted, the main character here looks like a little kid, which is not a good sign, but Some of these other characters, I mean, there's a guy, right? Girl, girl, girl. I don't know if this is a guy or a girl, but like, I assume it's a guy, but like, it's a very balanced situation. The art style looks good. It seems like magic and, you know, sorcery and swords and horses, and I mean, this kind of looks pretty good. On the other hand, I'm looking at this here, and this looks like complete trash. You can't see it. I'm looking at this picture here. Prequel Tensei Kizaku. Oh, yeah. Now I remember. I didn't watch this because, as you can see this picture here, I didn't watch this because I read the description of this, and it was, this kid is the main character. I think it's an isekai. I'm not entirely sure, but I remember this, the description had said something along the lines of, this girl and that boy are his like best friends or something, and then with their help he goes to do something, and it's like, I immediately was like, okay, I have no problem having like an isekai protagonist in the body of a child dealing with adults, but I have a problem when you start having an isekai protagonist in the body of an adult being friends with children. Then it becomes a problem, right? Because I'm sorry, having a adult in the body of a child mingling with children is kind of cringe to me. Not gonna lie. So we move on. Kimi wa maid-sama. That's interesting. Almost like they say Kaijo wa maid-sama, but like, okay. Let's read this. It's comedy romance. Again, it's 2 out of 5, but still. This is the story of a maid who is all alone in the world, but who finally finds a family told from young. Told from young? Okay. Told from young that her only worth is as a killer? Yuki had known nothing else except cold efficiency and following orders. Okay. Now that she has a chance to leave her past behind, she arrives at the doorstep of this guy asking to be employed as a maid. It feels kind of generic, and if I'm seeing things correctly in this picture, I'm guessing this Yuki girl is this maid, and then this is the little boy that she's taking care of, which is, yeah, why are you, like, why is this here? Why is romance in this? You have a maid adult and a child, or someone who definitely looks like a child, and you're saying there's romance? I don't think so. Sorry, that's kind of cringe, bro. I don't know, man. That's kind of cringe. I'm probably gonna skip that. Moving on, we have Nope. We're not interested in Dragon Balls, okay? What are you, gay? What do you watch, Dragon Balls? Jesus, what do you like, balls of dragons? That's kind of gay, bro. Blue Exorcist. Another arc of Blue Exorcist, I guess. I'm surprised they're still going with this. I thought the story was over. But again, I might check it out. But unlikely, because even though I have seen, I think, majority of the Blue Exorcist stuff, I think for me, like, going into this, I wouldn't remember what happened previously, even if this is like a direct sequel. So I would have to like check out all the Blue Exorcist stuff again for me to understand what's going on here. So I'm probably gonna skip. It would take too much effort to go through all of it again. Next up we have romance. Two people are co-workers in a travel agency in Tokyo. They're both single, but they don't mind since they're introverts with fulfilling lives at home. Unfortunately, now their job is looking to staff an office in Siberia, and non-married employees are the first to be considered. Rika is desperate to avoid the transfer and goes to Tokyo with an idea. If they pretend they're getting married in a year, they can stay in Tokyo. Yeah, I mean, we've seen shit like this before. I think this just depends on the charisma of both the characters. We've seen stories like this many times. It's nothing new. I think it really comes down to how charismatic the characters are and their chemistry. Kind of hard to say from this picture. I feel like if anyone's interested in romance, that might be honestly the go-to, because I feel like if romance tries too hard, it fails, and these guys don't seem like they're trying too hard. So you might have like two adult characters having an adult romance here. I mean, if you're interested in romance, might be something to check out. Next, we have Ranma. Not interested. Never was and never will. I wasn't into anime during those ages, 3,000 years ago, and I'm not into it now. Moving on, we have this thing. Already seems like a romance. Ooh. You see, again, remember what I said about the comedy tag? If there's a comedy tag with drama or any kind of other tag that is a serious tag, quote unquote, that means it's going to be 90% comedy and 10% whatever the seriousness stuff is. Because if there is no comedy tag, there's probably still going to be comedy in the show. Just like Marvel movies, right? Marvel movies don't market themselves as being a comedy. They market themselves as being a thriller action movie. And yet there's still comedy in them. So this is probably a skip, I'm not gonna lie. This is another, like, from what I'm reading here, Yakuza group, arranged marriage, nice young man that nobody would suspect he comes from a Yakuza family. Again, this seems kind of like man and woman get put together into like a arranged marriage, and then they start slowly liking each other, basically like the previous one. Moving on, we have Mao 2099. Action comedy, again, very same vibe as the one way up here. Very same vibe. You know, it's kind of like very quirky and flashy, and they do a lot of action. That's basically what a lot of these shows these days do, where they just kind of focus on the action and the animation. They don't really care about the story anymore. They try to be the fucking Coco Melon. I think that was the thing, right? That kids like, right? That addictive show that kids like. It's like the Coco Melons of anime. These anime that focus so heavily on the animation and the visuals, and yet their story is complete fucking dog shit. Okay? Probably gonna skip this. I just immediately, like, I look at this picture and I'm immediately just thrown off. There's so much shit in the promotional art that I'm already getting kind of a bad vibe and kind of like a ooh vibe from it. I mean, it might be entertaining for, like, generic anime fans, I guess, but, like, for me, I just immediately get a bad vibe from this. Moving on, we have some sort of fantasy thing again. I really wish the names were in English, to be honest, because I'm not gonna kill myself trying to pronounce some of these things. Nageki no Borei wa intai shitai. And once again, we have action comedy. And you look at the picture, right? Guy, girl hanging off of him. Girl, and one big dude who's probably the best friend character or some sort of general. I'm sorry, but, like, it's all the fucking same. I'm surprised they're not throwing in the harem tag. 6 childhood friends make a vow one day. Sure, by 6 childhood friends, I think you mean like 1 guy and 5 girls, right? Because, like, 1 guy, girl, obviously, right? So yeah, like, again, if there's a comedy tag, and from the promotional art, you can kind of already tell the type of show this is, right? It's just more generic anime slop. Moving on, we have Reikishi ni Nokuru Okujo ni Naruzo. Naruzo! Comedy and fantasy. This young girl hates all these goody two-shoes heroines, so when she's reincarnated as Alicia, the villain in her favorite fantasy dating sim, haven't we seen this like 17 times already? It's like a dream come true. There's just one problem. The more she tries to be evil, the more the prince seems to fall for her. Gross. Cringe. Alicia will have to work much harder if she ever wants to become the world's greatest villainess. Look, I think the idea of isekaiing into a villainess role is cool, as long as you're romancing the protagonist. And by protagonist, I mean a female protagonist. If it's a Yuri, then it's great. It would be great if the villainess romanced the female protagonist, right? That's some good shit, okay? That's some good shit, okay? I don't have a problem, okay? I just see a little bit of Yuri, and I'm just a little oh, that's some good Yuri. Yeah, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. Moving on, we gotta go faster. Action adventure. Saikyo no Shien Shoku. Something, right? Noel is the grandson of a legendary seeker over death, and dreams of surpassing his strength. But it turns out that Noel is nothing but a talker, the weakest class of them all, undeterred rather. He uses his silver tongue to gather allies, developing cunning strategies, and form the greatest clan around. Now, as the most notorious talker, Noel will do whatever it takes to claim supremacy. This one seems interesting. I'll give it a watch. I'm always interested in characters that are not just constantly using violence and are actually more like strategizers and actually know how to be diplomatic and silver tongue characters. So, I mean, could be cool. Second season of something that I haven't seen and I'm probably not going to watch because it looks like there's a bunch of guys and I'm not interested in gay. Moving on, we have Amagami-san Chino and Musubi. Comedy drama ecchi. Skip. By Madhouse. Ooh. The setting is 15th century Poland. It was a time when heretical ideas led those who possessed such a mindset to being burned at the stake for their beliefs. The protagonist, Rafal, a child prodigy, is expected to major in theology, the most important subject at the time, at the university where he plans to skip a grade. One day, however, he comes across a mysterious man and is now studying a possible truth in the midst of a heretical thought. This seems right up my alley. I am definitely going to check this one out. Once again, seemingly a smart main character who actually uses their brain. Shocking, I know. Moving on, we have Mao-sama Retry. I believe this is second season of a show that I've seen. Was this the show that had a really bad budget and it looked really bad and people were mad at it? Even though I watched it and I thought the story and the characters were actually kind of decent, you know? Yeah, the animation and the art was kind of bad, but it is what it is, right? I might check this out if it is the same show that I'm thinking of. I think it is. But yeah, moving on, we have... So, Tsuma is wife in Japanese, I believe. So, that means that these are adult characters already, which is very good. Comedy and drama. Again, literally doesn't fucking make sense. You cannot have a comedic drama or a dramatic comedy. Well, okay, maybe you can have a dramatic comedy, but once again, what this means is that there's going to be 90% comedy and 10% drama. Basically, they're not going to take their seriousness seriously. Every serious scene is going to be followed up by some sort of dumb joke that doesn't hit. That is cringe anime comedy, right? So maybe this might be I might give it a one episode watch because again, adult characters in any show in anime is always good for me. So it has that going for it. Other than that, I am not really having any hope for this. Moving on, we have, I'm guessing some sort of fantasy again. The story follows Roust, a healer who can only use one basic spell. We've seen this one before. I'm guessing this one basic spell is super good heals or something. Is expelled from a first-class party for being too weak. How did you get into the first-class party in the first place if you're so weak? While the leader of that party realizes how great his abilities actually are after hiring another healer. Roust finds his new friends like something who support him and his rise to the top. So basically, yeah, his skill is very good, or he's really good with his skill. But he gets thrown out of a party because they don't see the real benefit of his skill. We've seen this many times before. It comes down to how well they execute the show. At least there's no comedy tag, so, they have that. Moving on, we have Rurouni Kenshin. Never seen it, or I think I saw it when I was a child, but I don't remember anything about it, and I'm not going to watch this. It might be good for anyone interested, but I'm not going to watch a remake of a very old show that I wasn't interested even back then, or wasn't interested in even back then. So no, I'm probably going to skip it. It might be good, but again, I don't know. Not for me. Action adventure, we have Sayonara Ryusei Konnichiwa Jinsei. Long ago, the most ancient of divine dragons was slain by a human. The mighty dragon accepted its death. It was reborn as Dolan, a man who lives in a quiet village. While spending another peaceful day toiling in the fields, he meets Selena, a half-human, half-snake creature looking for a partner. They become friends. Challenges lie ahead. Honestly, this is probably going to be some trash because I can already see the main character here. Single basic sword, and the outfit is like the most dull, generic bullshit I've ever seen, so I don't have a lot of hope for this one. But I might check out the first episode. Natsume Yujincho, still going strong, I guess. I think I saw like 3 seasons of this years ago, but I have not kept up with it, so it's on its 7th season, bro. 7th season, surprisingly. It was pretty good when I watched it, though, so... Hoshifuru Okoku no Nina. Nina! A girl living as an orphan in this castle town happens to have eyes of the same deep blue as Lapis Lazuli, or Lazuli. Whatever, however you say that. ESL, by the way. Just like the god of the stars, they're also the same color as the eyes of the recently deceased Princess Alicia. For that reason, when the second prince of Fortuna Azure discovers Nina, he ordains that she will live as the princess in Alicia's place. As substitute princess and princess of the stars, Nina is obligated to become the false bride of... the moment you say, oh, is obligated to become the false bride, and it's like a little girl, like... So, I'm fine with child characters, kinda, as long as they are isekai and they are actually adults in the body of children. The moment you have a child character... Actually... Is this a child, or does the face just look like a child? I'm actually kind of looking like maybe the body goes further down here, and maybe she's not that small, but like, you know, And not to mention, girl, guy, right? Ooh. Fucking reverse harems in this bitch. Moving on, we have fantasy romance again. Jill breaks out of prison the night before she's set to be executed by her fiancé, Crown Prince. Like, why can't we just, like, if you want to do a fantasy romance, why is it always like, there's gotta be a prince and princess. The main character has to be a princess or a prince or some sort of isekai protagonist, and then they have to romance a prince or princess, and it's like, skip. Honestly, just a skip. Already seeing the main guy or main girl is this, and the guy she's gonna get with is like this, you know, dressed in black, like, you know, I'm a badass kind of prince, charismatic, you know, Black Butler-esque type of character, right? Yeah, cringe, fucking cringe. Whatever the fuck this is, car anime, don't know, don't care, no, not interested. Drama. It's 1863, the twilight of the shogunate, and Japan is on the cusp of monumental change. The streets of the nation's capital are soaked in blood and as political upheaval and rising tensions between masterless, wandering ronin, government samurais, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. I mean, this might be interesting. It's drama, and yeah, this one might be interesting. Like, shows like this, I feel like it's hard to tell exactly if they're gonna be good because there's not a lot to go on. You kind of have to, like, really hope that the main character and the other characters are good and charismatic and likable, right? You can say like, oh, this is the setting, this is the thing, you know, oh, the main character is gonna do this, and his name is this, you know, he's one of the founding members of this and that, right? And they're gonna do this, but like at the end of the day, it's gonna come down to how likable the characters are, right? If the main characters are like a whiny little bitch, no one's fucking gonna like the show, right? If the main character is smart and capable and charismatic, then you have a show that people will like. It's gonna come down to whether or not the main character is a badass or not. But out of what I've seen so far, I mean, this is at least a show that I'm gonna give a chance to. You know, I'm gonna give it a 1 episode, maybe 2, right? Just to see the vibe of the show. Next up, we have some sort of magical girl thing, which I'm just gonna skip. Nope, not interested. Drama. The story centers around this person, a university student with a large debt, and is told by his doctor that he only has 2 years left to live. Of course, Living the rest of his days in depression, one day gets chased by a debt collector and falls into the sea. He is rescued by Hana, a girl who loves fishing, and her fishing friends, including this other person. Hana urges this guy to experience fishing for the first time in his life, and he starts to develop friendship with the other fishing enthusiasts. Things start looking up for him as he starts working at the convenience store where they are doing things. This one actually seems pretty good, mainly because Studio Not. Never mind, actually, that's not the reason at all. The reason I think this can be good is the storyline of he only has 2 years left to live. What they need to do in this show, right, is basically have him be depressed, and slowly but surely he gets a kind of a new lease on life. You know, he starts enjoying himself, right? And then slowly but surely his condition deteriorates. And then people, you know, the other characters find out about his condition, and then eventually maybe you have this feel-good like montage or something where he fishes and they're having a great time, and then eventually you do a little time skip and he's on his deathbed and he passes away, and everyone's sad, but they're kind of happy that they had met the guy, and maybe they learned a lot from him, and you know they're you know, it's kind of like a bittersweet ending. As long as they have an ending to this, like we actually see him die, and they don't do some bullshit where it's like, oh, you have 2 years left to live, and then skip like 10 episodes down the road. They're like, oh, we actually found a new medical treatment that we can solve and cure your illness, and now you're completely fine. Like, shut the fuck up. In my opinion, if you are creating a storyline with a character that is confirmed to have only a certain amount of time left to live, they have to die by the end of the show. They just have to die. Like, if you don't do that, I'm sorry, but like, fuck off. You've done it wrong. Moving on, we have Mecha Dude, or action mecha sci-fi. I'm already saying mecha and action, and I'm looking at the art, and this is not for me. I can already tell you, this is just not for me. If you're interested in like, you know, shonen, you know, action, battle, explosions, and animation, like, I'm sure this is for you, but like, this is not for me. Not for me at all. I have shows like, you know, the 3rd season of Mob Psycho 100 to see. I have Jujutsu Kaisen to see. You know, like, if I wanted to watch like action anime and like good animation, I would just watch those, but I'm not going to add more shows to that list. Moving on, we have Love Live. Never seen this. I'm not going to watch the 3rd season of this. We have Nanatsu no Taizai, 7 Deadly Sins. It's the 2nd season of some sort of other thing, which is weird. I guess maybe it's like some sort of side story in that world or something. I haven't seen the 1st season of this, so I'm not entirely sure, but maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I don't know, you're gonna have to tell me if you've seen the 1st season. We have Mahotsukai, something, first year in high school fantasy. She has enrolled in junior high section of their magic school. Honestly, Nope. No thanks. Moving on, we have Tohai Urarate Mahjong Tohai Roku. Drama, psychological, money, women, orgasms, organs, money, women, organs. K, a high school boy. Why? You were doing so well. Drama, psychological, money, women, organs. Why a high school fucking student? Why? Stop it. You don't need to have a fucking high school fucking student in every goddamn anime. A high school boy frequents the underground mahjong parlor, teeming with desires, earning him the moniker K on Ice. In the underworld, due to his cold-hearted strategy and stylish gameplay, rumors also circulate that he keeps a girl at his home. I'm guessing the girl in his home is his little sister who he takes care of with all the money that he makes, and they make it into some sort of joke in the show. I mean, I checked the PV, and it kind of looks pretty mediocre. It might be an unentertaining watch, but, you know, when I'm reading drama, psychological, money, women, and organs, I'm thinking a very certain, specific type of show. But it might be worth a watch of an episode or two. I guess we'll see. Comedy fantasy. You have little girl, big booby woman, some guy, and some guy. It's like, I'm just no. Skip. Moving on, we have rookie teacher, comedy supernatural. Just looking at the picture, I'm already like, nope, this is not for me. Like, I'm not interested in these like wannabe comedy shows. You know, they're just not funny to me. I just tell it how it is. I'm not interested. Trillion game, action comedy. Skip. At this point, I'm gonna skip everything that has a comedy tag. This guy, Haigakura. Girl wants to be a writer, but for now she's just trying to find the right story. Walking home, bumps into some guys, even though it's an accident. They hassle her under blah blah blah. Saved by mysterious man. So there's this like girl who meets two guys, and they are on the path of trying to find gods or something. This might be kind of like a fake out, where my immediate reaction is two guys kind of almost kissing on the promotional art. So I'm thinking like some sort of yaoi bait, basically. But, you know, then again, Link Click kind of had the same thing. So maybe it's good, maybe it's not. This can really go either way. We have second season of Kamiarabi. God. I don't remember seeing this, so that's a skip for me. The next one is also a skip for me. Prince of Tennis. I'm not keeping up with it or anything, so no. Idol Master. Again, that's a nope from me. Nope from me, dog. That's a nope from me. Speaking of dogs, that's a nope from me. Nope. That's another, like, girl of tennis, I guess. Or rather, girl of golf. I don't know why I said tennis. Honestly, if they did another season of that Yuri golf show, something birdie, I would watch that. But this is some random thing which I've never seen before. So, second season of it. I've never seen it before. Don't know. Here we have comedy drama. Again, that's just a skip. You know, just a skip. Thunderbolt Fantasy, something 4. Fourth season of something that I've never heard of before, somehow. That's a nope from me, dog. And then it's a skip, and a skip, I think. There's some TV shorts here, but I'm not really interested in shorts. Most of them look like kind of shit anyway, maybe except this one. But, you know, shorts are always kind of like... There's some movies, I guess. Yeah, I'm kind of looking through the movies here, and I'm not really seeing anything that really catches my eye. They're just kind of all like... They're all either some form of slice of life. They never tell a full story. That's kind of one of the problems with anime these days. They never tell a full story. It's always some sort of like open-ended anime that just doesn't really tell a full story, which is kind of just cringe. Kind of annoying even. But yeah, that's about it, honestly. Kind of a weak season in my opinion. There are some shows that I will be checking out, definitely. So it's better than last season, I think. I remember last season being really bad. Thankfully, I think the Kirito wave is past us. Yeah, I mean, we have ReZero third season. We have this Uzumaki. I don't know what this is. Maybe it's decent. Some sequels to some other shows. Like, for instance, Sword Art Online Alternative. Gun Gale Online. I think the first season was pretty decent, so... Or at least I thought it was decent while I watched it. Other than that, I mean, there aren't a lot of shows that really stand out. That I'm like, yes, I am going to 100% watch this. There really aren't. I might check out some of these like sequels and this Uzumaki and maybe this one as well. This thing here, action adventure. There was like this one and then this one down here that both advertised a smart character. So yeah, I'm always down for some some competent and smart main characters. Regardless, I think that's about it for my first impressions of the full 2024 anime season. My overall impressions are there's a lot of sequels to some trash isekai, well, not isekais, but like some trash anime. Some sequels to some decent anime as well, and then a couple of like potential good shows. So it's a very like average season of anime. There aren't really like any big bangers other than maybe Re:Zero and this Uzumaki. I don't know if this is gonna be good. One of the shows that I might definitely check out that I skipped last time, I guess, is this one with the children. Now I fucking hate children, but like if it's getting the second season this quickly, because I remember this was like in the last season or the one before that. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's decent. It looks kind of decent on this picture. So maybe it's not so much about like children and shit. So I don't know. I'll give it a try. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed. Let me know which anime you are excited for, what you're hyped for, what you're not hyped for, what you think is probably overrated. Fucking Danmachi, for instance. Like, I mean, come on. Who cares at this point, right? But there's definitely stuff to watch for this season. So I'm glad for that. In any case, I'll let you go for now, and we'll be back next season to talk about the next season of anime and judge whether or not any of those anime are worth watching. This has been your friendly neighborhood arbiter of anime, signing out. And I bid you adieu, ladies and gentlemen.